Hi there, everybody. Just wanted to put a cautionary tale out there for you. Um, I retired last year, and I thought I would be able to live comfortably on, my income from Social Security and other stuff. But inflation hit, and it's been hard for me to make ends meet. So I decided to look for a part-time job that I'd be suited for. I have many years experience. I lots of skills. Um, I grew up with computers. In 1969, I started my career learning about computers, how they work. I set them up. So I'm very, very familiar with computers, with software for somebody my age. And so I put my resume out there and looking for just, a part-time data entry job, anything, just to earn a few bucks and have some extra income coming in. Well, I got an email from a company called Baker Mckenzie, and this was on a Thursday. Got the email, said, "We saw your resume and we're very interested. We'd like to do an interview, but can you please download one of these apps?" And so they gave me three apps to choose from, and so I downloaded the Signal app, which is like a chat thing. And they asked me all the interview questions through Signal, and they were legit questions that any interviewer would ask. And I answered, and after there were quite a few questions, so after that process, they said they'd get back to me the next day for the next step. So the next day, they come online early in the morning and said, "Congratulations, you scored a 91% on your interview questions and you're hired." Oh, okay, hired, huh? That was easy. So they told me that they were going to send me an offer letter, and they did via email, and it was very professional, and it outlined all my responsibilities, which were things that I would easily be able to complete and do. And so I signed it and sent it back. And in the letter, it indicated I would start at $30 an hour, which was wow for data entry. Well, I looked up Baker McKenzie, and they're supposed to be a big international law firm. So, okay, yeah, that's great. And they told me that I needed to have an Apple laptop, printer, scanner, and fax machine, a phone, and some software. And I go, fine. And they said they would send me a check to cover all this, to purchase this, to cover it all. And so, okay. So Saturday, I received a check through FedEx for $4,950. They told me I needed to go physically and deposit the check either through ATM or a bank teller. Well, I don't do that. I do everything online. So I deposited my check online, and it didn't go through at first. It said it was pending, and I go, oh, well, it's a big amount. Maybe that's why it's pending. And so I told them that. And they said, okay, we'll stand by and we'll tell you what the next step will be. So Monday, they got in touch with me and asked me if the check had cleared, and it was still pending. Plus, the reason why it was pending was interesting. It said that it was pending either because of information they had from this bank or because of information they had in their files, and it may not be honored. So I told them that, and they kind of brushed it off and said, oh, okay, well, we'll wait. But in the meantime, you're really behind on this onboarding. So could you please cover the cost of getting the software that you need, and we'll reimburse you. And it was $100, and I said, okay. Oh, and also I want to back up and say that they also gave me this legitimate sounding task to do. List 7 qualities of a good data entry operator. And that sounded reasonable, and so I did that. So going back to this situation, a little leery, and I said, oh, okay, I'll get the software. And the strange thing is they wanted me to get gift cards to download this software. Steam Wallet gift cards. So I looked that up online, and they're mostly for downloading games and stuff, not really Office software. Maybe you could, but that sounded really strange to me. So I talked to my son about it, and he said, oh, Mom, that's a scam. That's a scam. Well, it's an elaborate scam, that's for sure. And so I knew right then that I was going to cut off this, but he told me to mess with them a little bit, to tell them that my son worked for Homeland Security and he wanted some time to research their email apps and things. So after this, I cut off all communication with them. They didn't answer me anyway. But the check, I looked at this check again, and it was funny because on the bottom, you're supposed to have your routing number, your account number, then your check number. Well, on the bottom here, the check number was first, then the routing number, then the accounting number. So no way is that going to go through. And so I did let my bank know that it was a fraudulent check, and so that I wouldn't be blamed for trying to pass a bad check. And so that was that. I'm usually not fooled by this kind of stuff, but this was so elaborate that I was almost taken in. So just be careful with everything. Plus a little caveat, I put my application on some legitimate sites like Monster.com and ZipRecruiter. Well, I put my resume out there, and my resume shows my age. So I got a lot of responses back saying, oh, we've looked at your resume and we decided to go with other candidates, when I'm more than qualified for what they were asking. So I think there's some age discrimination going on also. So if any of you have any ideas on how to get around that age discrimination, leave it in the comments for me. Thank you.